Hello, welcome to this video. My name is Dr. Malimi Kazi. In this video, I'm going to show how teachers can use artificial intelligence, famously known as AI, to create learning assessment questions, answers, as well as rubrics. I'll be using ChatGPT. So I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen. So as you can see, this screen here, I'm using ChatGPT 3.5. Now, let me say at this point that before asking ChatGPT to create these questions, I had asked it to write lesson notes about learning management systems, in short, LMS. Now, here I asked ChatGPT to write as a question. That was my first prompt. So normally, if I were to type this, I would type it down here at the bottom of the screen. As you can see, you can type any prompt you want. And once you're done, you just send that prompt and ChatGPT will respond to your prompt. So I will now, so this is the prompt. I'm trying to pick a pointer here. All right, so this is the prompt. And I specifically said that this as a question should be at the level of master's degree. And ChatGPT was able to actually write an answer question for me, as you can see it here. After that, I then asked the ChatGPT to write 3 discussion questions based on that same topic, and specifically said that those questions should be at the level of master's degree. It is good to provide specific prompt or be as specific as you can so that you can get at least the results you want. And let me note also at this point that everything you get from ChatGPT, be it you searched about a topic and ChatGPT provided response to that question, or even if you're creating questions like I'm doing now, it is good to, after you're done, to review those materials you get or content you get and edit it accordingly to align it to your learning objectives and also to align it to the level of the learners. So let's go on. After that, then ChatGPT was able to actually write the 3 questions I wanted. As you can see here, discussion questions. After that, I asked the ChatGPT again. Actually, before asking another question or providing another prompt, I just try to interact with ChatGPT in a way that I can interact with humans. So I said, thank you so much, ChatGPT. And it responded in a politely and a friendly manner. It says, you're welcome, you're very welcome, and you and it encouraged me to ask more questions if I needed any further assistance. So I provided another prompt, and this is here. This for this time, I asked the ChatGPT to create 5 multiple questions for me, of which it actually did. As you can see here, the questions down below here. And what is so interesting, was so interesting to me, is to see that ChatGPT was actually able to identify or tell me what is the correct option among the 4 options it provided. So these are the 5 questions which I wanted. Now, after that, I went on asking ChatGPT to write 5 true or false questions at the same on the same topic at the same level. And it is responded, providing those questions for me. And it also identified the answer, the correct answer for each question. Moving forward, I wanted ChatGPT now to write a rubric, grading rubric for the essay question it has created at the beginning of the questions. And it was able to do so. So this is the rubric. As you can see here on the left-hand column, you have the criteria for grading. And on the top of that table, you have the points and the level of the essay identified there. So the first is exceptional, which will go with 5 points. Another is proficient, which will go with 4 points, and so on. So the criteria, I think it created 5 criteria, and the first criterion was a thesis, argument, development. This is introduction, basically, introduction of the essay. Then another criteria was content, knowledge, and depth. The next criterion was critical thinking and analysis. Then organization and the structure of the essay. And after that one, clarity and style. And finally, not finally, evidence and citation, which it stated that my student should use APA 7th edition, of which is what I wanted. And finally, conclusion and synthesis. So that is what it did. But it actually put a note at the end of that rubric saying, this rubric is designed for master's level essay. Adjustment may be needed based on specific course program expectation, and so on and so on. So that's true. That every content, everything you get from any AI tool, not only ChatGPT, it is needed to be entered and updated accordingly based on what you're teaching. And there is a warning at the bottom of the screen saying that ChatGPT can make mistakes. Consider checking important information, which is true. And I really want every teacher using this tool to do that. So that is where I ended. Yeah, I'll keep using this for other purpose as well. I would need to edit these questions and the rubric and confirm the answers and adjust the questions as needed to align to what I want to give to my student. So again, this is a good tool. AI tools are here to stay. Teachers, I know that some teachers will just tell their student, do not use ChatGPT. But whether we like it or not, they will actually use it. I think we need to find ways to identify maybe content created with AI tool so that we can, the point is not really to stop students to use ChatGPT or any AI tool, but is to show the legitimate use of ChatGPT. So this should not replace what the student is supposed to do. They can use this to as a starting point, but the content they get here, they need to be written by individual learners and paraphrasing them in the way, so they provide points for them on which to create their responses or their answer to whatever you have asked. But also, we need to help teachers need to change the way we used to provide assessment for learning. For example, instead of just asking students to answer questions like give information on what you have taught them, I think we need to start now doing it differently. For example, yeah, you allow them to use ChatGPT, but tell them to explain, for example, to create a presentation on what they get from ChatGPT and the steps they used to arrive to those answers. Also, we need to ask our students to find other reliable sources of information like academic articles, scholarly articles, and to check whatever they got from ChatGPT or any AI tool to check if that is actually true. Because as I said, the content here is can be not true, or there can be mistakes on the information provided. So we allow our student to use ChatGPT, but instead of just asking them to respond to the answers, we want them to tell the process. Also to find more sources on the same content to confirm the content. And then to make presentation maybe in small groups or as a whole class. In that process, although the content was just maybe obtained from ChatGPT, but in creating that presentation, maybe a PowerPoint slide presentation or other ways of presenting, and in searching other reliable sources of this material, they will be actually learning the content. So at the end, the student will learn and achieve the learning objectives. On top of that, they should have also learned how to use technology for teaching and learning, because these AI tools and other technology are here to stay. And I don't think that it is appropriate for teachers just to say, don't use this, and start punishing them for using it. Allow them, but let them ask them to go an extra mile, not just to produce whatever was created by ChatGPT. In that process, they will learn. Thank you so much. Welcome again to another video which will come after this. Bye-bye.